All right, so here we are under the Google Cloud Terminal. First, we're going to start with deploying the binary web calculator web application. So first, let's paste this command into here. We're going to create a new deployment based on this image that we packaged earlier. So we ran the Maven build command, we built our WAR file for our web application, and then we used a simple Docker file to create a Docker image from that. We pushed the Docker image to this artifact repository here, so it's publicly available. And now we are deploying that Docker image at port 8080 to be exact. So that deployment was created. The next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to expose this to the real world. So we're going to use this command here that I have prepared. Expose deployment binary calculator. We're going to make the type a load balancer and the name of the service that is going to be exposed. So this is going to give it an external IP and allow us to connect to it. So you can see here it's exposed. So we can run some commands to see how things are going. So we can check the deployments that we have. Oh, sorry, spelled that wrong. See that deployment is up, it is available. Get pods. Let's see that the pod is running, and now to check if our service is public. You can see we're still pending an external IP here, so this is going to take a minute. As you can see, we have the Kubernetes cluster, the base, and then we have the calculator service, the type load balancer that we just spun up. It's running on port 8080 here. Let's see if that IP is up. That IP is up. So if we just copy this external IP, you throw it in a new tab here at port 8080. This should be our calculator application. You can tell it still functions as normal. See the calculation. Still functions just like we'd expect. Now the other thing we want to do is we want to test both methods of spinning up the SQL instance. So for the first method, I have this command ready here. We're going to create an SQL deployment. We're going to use a MySQL image that is just publicly available. We didn't create this image in the first place. This is just available on the Docker registry. We're running it at port 3306. So now that deployment is created. The next thing we need to do is if we want to connect to it. Now we didn't specify a root password, so it's going to auto-generate for us. So what we want to do is we want to get the pod name of this MySQL deployment right here. Sorry, that's already copied. And we want to use the logs to see what that password is. Pod name here, and let's pipe that to grep, and let's look for generated. And then you can see we have this generated root password here. So now, in order to actually connect to our server, this is what we're going to do. This command exec -it, our pod name, MySQL. The user is going to be root. Then we're going to specify the password. Next, it's going to ask us for the password, which is this guy right here. Paste that in. And damn, we are in our database. Now, quickly, I have another command prepared. Let's just alter the root password for future reference. That should be perfect. All right. Now let's exit that for now. We're going to need that for later. Now let's expose the SQL server to an external IP so we can connect to it publicly. So the MySQL service is now exposed there. Now if we run our command that we did before, get pods, first off, yeah, we can see both pods are there. I already did that before. We want to get, services. As you can see now, you see the MySQL service on there, and it is also waiting for its external IP. So let's just give it a second here. It's going to get that external IP shortly. And then we can test it out. We can test and see if we can connect to it from the external IP that it gives us. There it is. So there is the external IP. So I'm just going to use this command I've prepared here. And the external IP for it is 34.152.49.157. Their password. I guess it didn't take my password in there, but that's okay. I'll just re-enter it. Oh, that's true. I am, sorry, I'm doing it from the root host, actually. There should be another user that we have prepared for this one. Oh, so actually this is what I need, just what I need to do here. So I'm going to put in this command, we're going to go back into it. So now we're in the MySQL. I have a command prepared here. Create a new user. And then basically we're going to exit MySQL again. And then we are going to run, we have this command here with our new user profile, and we are going to put in the IP that we typed in before. There we go. And we can see it works. We're connecting through the public IP into our MySQL server. Oh. Anyways, you get the point on that. That works here. So now let's check the other way to deploy this stuff. First off, let's delete our deployment. And let's delete our service. This is going to take a second to delete our service. Now, the next command I've prepared, this. So we have some YAML files, and YAML files are basically configuration files that you can pre-create and predefined. So we've been using a bunch of these commands to set up things, but you can obviously make your lives a little easier if you'd like to. So let's just go back. Let's just into MySQL, and I got some commands to run. So we have a MySQL deploy.yaml, and we're just going to use the create command on this YAML, and it's going to display the deployment. All the relevant information is in that YAML file, and we can do the exact same thing with the service. There's two YAML files in there, and the service starts. So let's do get pods. See, the MySQL deployment is now running again. Let's do get service. See, the service is also spinning up. You can tell by the age and by the age of the deployment that it is fresh, and we just did recreate it. So we just need to give it a second here. And then it'll give us a new IP. There's our new IP. So we can use this command again to see if it actually worked. 34.118.139.234. Perfect. And that's what we need. Let's exit that. As you can tell, it all works perfectly.